it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for a Confessions of a Paper Addict design team layout. So down in the description box below, I have got a link to the Etsy shop that you just saw flash up on your screen, and I also have a direct link to this super cute sprinkler cut file that I'm working with today. There is a little bit more to this cut file than what you can just see there. There are a few splashes that are going to make their way on screen after I have worked out where all of my photos are going to go. And you can see I have got quite a few photos here. We were obviously having a massive family fun adventure in our backyard this day. We just got a new slip and slide, and everyone had to have a go. So I've got a little series of 3 photos of everyone in the family making their way down the slip and slide. And when I was looking back at these photos to work out which ones to scrap, there were just so many, and it was so hard to narrow them down to work out which ones were actually going to make the cut. So in the end, I decided what better way to do a multi-photo layout than to make them into my own little photo booth photos. So I printed them all out. I used the Project Life app, and I put 4 photos onto a 4x6 page. So they were about 2 inches by 3 inches each photo originally. I then trimmed them all down and made them all approximately 2 by 2 inches squared. Then I put them into their little stack of 3. I matted them all onto white paper, which I then cut out, and then I matted them onto one long strip of black to make my final piece of my photo booth. And that's how I've ended up with 3 strips of sort of photo booth-esque photos. And that is also how I'm getting 12 photos onto this one single page layout. There is no way that I could have got 12 photos onto a single page layout in this same, and fit a big cut file and all of that. There's just too many photos to have that happen. And so by doing it this way and making the photos that much smaller, you can still tell what is happening in these photos. You still get the feeling of what's going on, the fun, the frivolity, but it also leaves me with some space to do some embellishing and to pop on a cut file and to just really jazz up the rest of my page. So I am mostly using Cocoa Vanilla Studios to create this layout, but not entirely. So that title is a Cocoa Vanilla Studios title from the Unforgettable collection. The 12 by 12 background piece of paper, I have no idea what that is. It is just from my stash. I have backed the cut file, the gorgeous sprinkler cut file. I have backed that with some random scraps. So I'm not 100% sure what I have used to back that with either. The actual sprinkler itself is backed with Cocoa Vanilla Studios, a floral piece of paper. And the ephemera that I'm going to use is Cocoa Vanilla Studios, and it's from one of their super old collections. You pretty much can't buy it anymore unless other stores have it in stock. It's no longer on their website with stock. It is their Hello Sunshine collection. I really had to think about that for a minute, and it totally popped out of my brain. I am super lucky to have a little bit of this left in my collection. I have been hoarding it, but now with their other collections coming out, I just need to start using it up. And I thought, what better way than to match it with this stunning cut file from COAPA Cut Files. It is just the perfect cut file to really show off the slip and slide that is happening in our backyard on this day and just the fun that we are all having. I just love the way that the splash goes out across the page. And that is exactly what our slip and slide was doing. So I have definitely pulled in a lot of blues for this, because that matches the slip and slide with that bright blue in the slip and slide, and also because of the water, of course, spraying out of the sprinkler. I knew the minute I saw these photos that this was going to be the cut file for me. And it was so simple. It was such a quick and easy cut file to back, which is nice. And I actually cut the cut file out on a piece of blue paper, actually. Now, I had every intention of using the white side to be the backing of my cut file, but I realized after I'd cut it out that that was the perfect way to use some of the drops, like the inside of the drops. So I've actually sort of doubled the amount of splash that I have by being able to turn them over and have the blue splash instead of just a white outline, which was pretty nifty. I didn't really intentionally do that. I often use bits of papers that I don't particularly love and are white on the back. I often use them to just be white. And in this case, I just happened to grab one that had some blue on the other side or some teal on the other side. So it worked really well in my favor there. So you can see that is a proper cut file one. And this one, both of those are proper cut file ones. But that little teeny tiny one is actually one of the inside pieces that I am able to use as just a splash because it is in blue, which I'm really happy about. So I'm just going to pop some splashes around the page. I am gluing straight on top of my photos, just because there are so many photos. It's not such a big deal to put glue and to cover up parts of my photographs. Normally I would not cover half as much. Like, I've covered quite a bit of the photos in this layout. Normally I would not do that. The photos are quite important in a scrapbook page. They're kind of telling the story, but because there are just so many photos, you really get the feel of the story even with embellishments going in on top of the photograph. So I'm quite happy in this case for that to happen because I feel like there's enough other photos around the page that you still know what's going on. I will add some journaling later on. I always add some journaling to my pages, but often that's months down the track when I finally get around to doing a big old journaling haul. So I'm practically finished with this layout now. I am going to do some splatters. And initially I was a little bit worried that I'd gone overboard with my splatters. I didn't splat that many, but I splattered a lot of variety of colours. So the actual amount of splatter in each colour is quite small, but I've done teal, I've done navy, I'm going to come in with some gold, and I'm going to come in with some white. So 4 different coloured splatters, and I thought, oh, maybe that's a little bit much. I really put them really carefully and really delicately in just around where the actual splash comes out from. But even still, I thought, oh gosh, have I gone a little bit over the top? But once it dries, I think it really pulls in all those splashes and really makes this come together. And I just love the way it looks like the water is flicking across the page. I was really, really happy with the way this came together. So I strongly recommend that you check out that description box down below and make sure you pop on over to the Etsy shop. It's like 18 pages worth of cut files over there. So there is more than enough to keep you busy and to do up a little bit of a wish list of the things that you need. Also, don't forget to pop into the Facebook group. Make sure you answer those the 2 questions that are part of the Facebook group, otherwise you won't get accepted in, so that you can come on in, join the Facebook community, and also get a few sneaky little free cut files every now and then from Virginia. So definitely make sure you do that. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching my process video. I hope I have inspired you to get a whole bunch of photos onto your layouts, even if you have to make them a little bit smaller. And I will see you all next time.